Hey, what is up, everybody? This is day 2 of getting basically wanting a $50,000 in my pocket, but we're gonna go for 100. We're gonna double that. That way, if we fall short of 100, we're still ahead of what we want to be. Ideally, we'll see how this goes. So, yesterday was day 1. I kind of announced it. Worked on stuff that I already had going on. Didn't really make any money. That's okay. Day 2 today, we're going to talk about goals, and we're going to break this down to make it simpler for ourselves. Because if we don't have a path, we're going to be lost every day when we try to start. So something that I was taught that's a really good idea is, like, before you go to bed at night, make sure you write down your goals, go over your goals, and then write down 3 things that you have to accomplish the following day. That way, when you wake up, if you're like, I'm not sure what I need to do, you got at least 3 things that you know you have to accomplish by the end of the day. And then anything else on top of that is just bonus, right? So that's something that's a good idea to do. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to break down, we're going to do some math. Grant Cardone is somebody who I learned this from. He calls it his millionaire math. Basically, we're going to break down that $100,000 goal into smaller increments to make it more realistic for our brains. It's all the same. It's just a different way of thinking about it. So let's go on over here. So I've just got a little quick Google Doc that I'm going to open up here, and we're going to put our goal is $100,000, right? So we want $100,000. Got 5 months to do that. We're actually a couple days into this month already, so a little bit behind. That's okay. If you don't make any money on those days, then it just adds on to the following days. You still haven't lost, right? So we want $100,000. We want that in 5 months. Again, this is profit. This is not top of the line. This is all bottom of the line. This is in my pocket. So 5 months. So if we break that down by 5 months, let me open up a calculator here real quick. So we want, that's $100,000. I'm going to divide that by 5 months. That means that we need to make $20,000 a month. That sounds pretty wicked. That sounds like a lot, especially if you're somebody who works an hourly job, because it's like, how do you come up with $20,000? Like, some people make that in a year. But that's okay. We're breaking things down, right? So over 5 months, we need to make $20,000 in profit. Is that possible? That's absolutely possible. I'm sure many of you have done something where maybe you have had something that you've had for a while and you sold it and you made money on it, right? Like, let's say you bought a car, used car, doesn't matter how much you bought it for, but you got a car, you've been driving it for a while, you're thinking about getting another car. If you sell that car, could you make $1,000? Sure. If you could do that 50 times, you'd have 50 grand. If you do that 100 times, you'd have 100 grand, right? I know that's not always going to be the case. You can't always just magically have a used car to sell, but the principle remains, right? So 5 months, 20 grand. Let's break that down a little bit further. If let's just, I'm not exactly sure how many days over this 5 months there is, but let's just assume 30 days a month. Let's go with that. We'll do 100. I don't know why it looks weird in my eyes in this calculator, but $100,000 divided by 5, and then we'll divide that by 30, right? So now we're at $667 a day. $667. Is that feasible? Again, working for an hourly rate, unless you make $100 an hour, might look a little tough. Is that possible if you're selling something? Absolutely. It's definitely possible. I've made well more than that in a day selling t-shirts. But I wanted to break that down real quick for you guys and myself so I can look at this to get an appreciate what we're looking at. Now, this is assuming 7 days a week, right? So $667 a day. I wanted to see these numbers so I can start thinking about different ways that I can do this. And something that really excites me is that you guys don't have to have your own business to get the advantages of making money like your own business could. What I mean by that? I mean that if you work for an hourly job, So you work at a grocery store, you work hourly, you can only work so many hours a day, right? And the only way to increase the amount of money you make is to, one, get a pay raise, which you're probably not going to pay raise. It's going to get you $667 a day. I know I'm not going to. Or two, work more hours. Those are really the only two ways that you can increase your pay working hourly. So these kind of goals, you're not going to be able to attain hourly, again, unless you work for somewhere where you can make $100 an hour. A lot of people are probably working minimum wage on up to maybe $20 to $30 an hour, tops, on average. Okay, so that's not going to work. So working hourly, that's not going to be an option. Some of you are not going to be able to own a business. I've worked my butt off to get where I am. I just became self-employed this year, 5 months ago to the day. Not everybody has that opportunity to do that right now. So what ways can you get this kind of money with the benefits of having a business without actually owning a business? And the answer to that is to help somebody who's already running a business make more money. Let me switch over here. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean by helping somebody? So you could literally, let's say you have a buddy that runs it doesn't matter what it is. I'm just going to use clothing. I make sure. So we're just going to stick to that thing. Let's say you have a buddy that runs a t-shirt shop. They have a little business in town. You could go up to them and ask like, hey, I need $700 a day. Will you pay me $700 a day to help me make these goals? And the obvious answer is going to be no. They're not going to give you $700 a day. But I guarantee you that they would give you $700 a day if you could increase their profit by $1,000 a day. Meaning if you could go in there, somehow bring up sales and make them an additional $1,000 a day in profit, I bet you they would pay you $700 for them to net $300 in profit for themselves and also gain new customers. I know for myself, if somebody came up to me and was like, hey, I'm going to help you sell, whatever the math works out on that, we're going to help you sell another 200 shirts a day. They're getting a cut of that because they're going to go out, do all the marketing, do all the stuff. I don't have to do anything extra. I just have to keep doing the things I'm already doing, which is printing and shipping shirts to people, right? But at the same time, I'm going to be getting new contacts. You're going to get new contacts. More people are going to be seeing your business. It's a win-win for the store owner, and it's going to be a win-win for you because you can step in and have the opportunity to make big bucks while helping somebody else. So that is one way that you could step in and do that. So for me, I'm kind of looking at different opportunities I have right now. How could I do that? One, for myself, which I'm going to keep doing things I'm doing, but I need to increase the other things that I'm doing to see if there's other places I can help. So one thing that I can do to step into somebody else's business, me being a screen printer, I can go to a business and offer them screen printing services, right? That's more of a selling thing within my business, but I could definitely go to these people, offer them a special deal, whatever it be, and I could easily increase my daily money by $500 to $1,000 a day. I'm thinking off the top of my head right now. I just did a deal for a client. It's a close friend of mine. It's actually a place that I used to work. I just did some shirts for them, and I gave them a killer deal on it, and I still made $400 in profit. It took me roughly 2 hours of time to create the shirts for them. Maybe a little, let's call it 4 hours. 4 hours of time. And then they've been a repeat order on that. So, I've made $800 on basically half a day's worth of work, maybe a little more. So that is one way that you can, you can increase your own sales. Again, kind of relating back to you guys who maybe don't own a business, you could go, like I said, you could go to your friend's shop. You could go to, maybe you find a realtor who needs help selling houses, getting more leads. You could literally go door to door asking people, hey, are you interested in selling your house? Or, hey, are you thinking about moving? Would you like to buy another house? If they say no, you could ask if they know anybody who might be looking for a house, or maybe they have a friend who's thinking about selling a house. You could do stuff like that and get leads to a realtor. And I bet you anything that if you get them some warm or hot leads that are ready to sell and make some money, I bet you they would pay you to do something like that because it doesn't cost them any money. You're bringing them money and getting a cut of that money using their resources. So I think that's a very, very smart idea. I like the idea for myself as well. So let's think, what is something that I could do for another business that could help increase their sales with the stuff that I have available to me. You guys who haven't seen the first video, what I have available to me is camera, cell phone, internet, computers. I already use that within my business. Plus the main portion of my business, which is screen printing and embroidery, making hats, t-shirts, sweaters. I can make decals, cut vinyl decals. I can do some basic screen printed stickers. So what is something that I could offer? I could offer a business a marketing package. I could go to one of my businesses here in town and offer to do some photography and videography stuff for them for social media. I could offer to just do that alone. I could offer to do t-shirts, hats, do some like t-shirts and hats and stickers for them for the videos, which would get me some more money, which would also increase their branding and their outreach. A lot of businesses will pay good money for that kind of stuff because branding is very important. Getting eyeballs on your stuff is very important. So that is something I could do. Something else that I could do that I'm working on a current deal with somebody right now is editing YouTube videos. I really enjoy doing video work. I love telling stories. I love talking. You guys will figure this one out if you haven't already. So editing videos is something I have a lot of joy doing, but I also take a lot of pride in doing. I like telling stories. I like telling stories. I like sharing things with people. So you could go to a business or a YouTuber or anybody, if you guys can video edit, it doesn't take crazy advanced equipment. Most people don't even know how to do it. So they could record stuff with their cell phone, send you the videos via Dropbox. You could throw that on a computer. You could edit videos, and people charge a lot of money for editing videos. I know people who charge $1,500 a month for like 8-10 minute videos. Like, that's awesome. I could make a lot of money doing that if I could keep the pipeline full, right? So that is something that I could offer. The photography aspect of things, I could do that. Marketing, I could go in, kind of like my original example I shared with you guys today. I could go in and help a business market their stuff and increase their sales, therefore increasing pay to me if you work out a deal like that up front. But yeah, so basically the whole point that I'm trying to drive home with you guys is, like, if you don't have a business, or you're not sure like how to start doing any of this kind of stuff, you're lost, you're working an hourly job, you can't increase your money working that hourly job, go to an already established business, figure out what you're good at, offer those skills, make yourself valuable to them, make that company more money, and they're going to pay you very well. I guarantee it. You're going to become one of their rock star employee of the month kind of stuff, right? Because you're going to be making them more money. So I'm going to look at some options for what I can do within that. I might reach out to some businesses. Like I said, I've already got a couple of people that I'm already working with unintentionally for this whole thing. It's just one of those things when you're consistent with what you guys are doing and you keep putting your name out there and you keep getting seen and you keep trying new things, people are going to see you. For me, it's a lot of stuff on social media, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, putting my stuff out there, showing people what I'm doing. People like it. They see what I'm capable of. And then I'm getting people coming to me all the time being like, hey, can you do this for my business? A lot of times I say no because I'm swamped. I'm a one-man show, printing, shipping, marketing, making videos, doing all sorts of stuff. But it's something that I want to open the door to because it's something I'm very interested in. And I believe that's going to be something that I can use to show you guys like, hey, this is a great opportunity to make money. So there's my thoughts on that today, guys. Use your skills, help somebody else out. And that's not even an aspect that I even covered, is that not only can you make money doing this, but you can really help somebody out. Like, we look at a lot of people look at businesses as like they forget that it's people make the business, right? It's real people, it's real families, it's real lives. There's moms and dads and grandparents and children involved in all of this stuff, and it's real easy to forget that sometimes, especially when a business gets larger. But if you can go in and help that business, you're helping people's lives as well, not only on the receiving end of the payment, the owners and stuff like that, but also the customer side too, because if you're selling a good product, you're helping people's lives out and they're getting what they want and or need, which is also extremely important in this whole equation of running a business and buying and selling and things like that. So there are my thoughts on that today, guys. My goal is to make just a little under $700 a day in profit. I'm going to have to figure out some other options on how to do that. I might put together some ideas for packages for t-shirts and things like that. See what it takes to make those numbers. See what I can do marketing wise for maybe other businesses, maybe some packages for doing stuff for other businesses with the marketing packages with clothing, as well as my own brand. So we're going to figure all this out. We're going to get some new ideas put together. I thank you guys for following along so far. Sorry I did a little bit of rambling in this video, but for those of you who don't know, we are doing this video on YouTube. We will be doing this video on Instagram and TikTok. So you guys make sure you follow those. I'll drop all of those links. Actually, I got a link tree where all that's all put together. And I'm going to be putting together a Facebook group specifically for following along on this one, the Joshua Stover Training Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group. I'm going to build a community there. You guys can converse, and we can all figure things out together. So thank you guys so much for listening in on this video. Sorry it was a little scattered, but we're going to get after it and figure out what we can do. See ya.